Guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're on the FHG account and we are looking over probably one of the biggest, most overlooked items of AFK Arena, which is the Elder Tree. So a lot of players will just put Elder Tree points just like we see here, 35, 40, 30, just different specs, really not looking at the viability of the Elder Tree and really what it brings to the game. But there is a very specific way you can build this tree to really maximize the potential in there. And it's really dedicated on getting the most out of the tree, getting the most out of the abilities, but also the secondary ability such as dodge right down here. You can see in the Sustenance tree, you do pick up extra haste. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take a look at Grubb's guide on building the Elder Tree, really breaking it down to how you should build it, because this is a question that I get a lot of times and I absolutely love the guide that he came out with. So let's go ahead and we'll get into the guide. So here is the guide, guys. Grubb's trusty tree teardown. Absolutely love it. Want to give it a lot more exposure. Big shout out to Grubb. And putting together these visuals is very, very difficult, guys. And I want to do it on the iPad. That way I can zoom into points that we want to look at. But on the left, he has a branch rating. So it actually shows the calculated of how strong the branch is, which we know the Ranger or the celerity path is definitely the strongest. It always has been because of the amount of the damage application that it does, as well as the haste that it brings. But if you look at the little markers here, such as the 9, 22, 46, and 65, these are specific points to pick up extra skills and abilities for the tree. There's an optimal build for this that we're gonna go over, and it is very in-depth. So guys, follow along. I'm gonna put a link to the guide right down below, so make sure you guys pay attention. This overview is designed as a comparative multi-page guide, which there is 12 pages in here. So there is a ton of information contained within this guide, which we're just gonna cover the general topics. This guide is very large. You may skip to the end for the summary. So optimizing the build path per branch. They do have, again, a different couple levels where you do pick up some additional skills and abilities, as well as some of the attributes for your heroes. So looking at this, and I love the workflow. The flow chart here is very cool. So starting off in the very top, we have all of our zeros. So when you finally unlock the Elder Tree, everything starts at zeros. Remember, the Elder Tree, the trunk of the tree itself has to be 10 levels above each branch. So once I do hit level 11, I can add skills into the specific class categories. So, but looking at the workflow, moving over here, choose a main branch, a carry branch. So you're either going to go with the celerity or you're going to go with the sorcery path that are listed here. You're going to raise it to 9. So saving all of your twisted essence until you get to build these up to level 9 is exactly what you want to do. This is going to allow you to really put some emphasis on your main carry heroes, which again, we'll look at in a little bit on what those look like as you're starting AFK Arena. So once you raise your primary branch to 9, you're going to want to raise all secondary branches to 9. Big reason for this is when you get above 9, your twisted essence starts getting more expensive for every level that you level up the class specifics. So it does get a lot more expensive. So once you hit 9 in all of your classes, so now all of them are at 9, specifically how we are looking to build them, raise your main branch to 22. So whether you chose the celerity or the sorcery, raise it up to 22. Then you're going to move it to 44. That is right, guys. Raise the main branch to 42. 42. Once you get to 42, then you're going to go the warrior to 37, the support to 42, and then the ranger to 65 is what it's showing here. I'm not sure if that 65 means that you chose the celerity or the mage. I'm thinking that's 65 because it could be the mage either way. But once you get up to there, then work on these two paths at the same time. So maximizing as much as possible to highest breakpoint. Breakpoint, again, will be explained a little bit later. So looking at the celerity or the sorcery tree, depending on which one you're looking to build. But you do want to work on these other paths as well, which are the Sustenance and, of course, the warrior tree here. Leveling them up as much as possible while you're keeping your focus on your main carries, on the two main carries right there with the celerity or the sorcery path. Then of course we do have the warrior who comes in very last because it is very low when it comes to overall building it and building it out. So when you look there, even kind of a snapshot of this is you're going to take the tanking path to 9, then we're doing main branch, a couple other ones, and then you're not taking it till 47, till way down here. So it has a very low utility with the tanks. Unfortunately, tanks in AFK Arena really need a lot more damage mitigation than they offer. But one of the caveats to that, and one of the things that really support them, is what we see here, the Barricade manipulation. Now, to me, this is one of the strongest artifacts in the game, and there is a specific reason for that. The Barricade artifact is used with the tree to get a carry of choice to the highest rating. So, as we're putting more points into celerity and to sorcery, those are going to be your strongest heroes, meaning that when you're utilizing an artifact like the Barricade, that is going to be the hero that they're protecting. So when we look here, you get it from the Depths of Time, level 32, the Trials of God. Prerequisites are 27-60 has to be completed, so you do have to be in chapter 28. And the base effects, when a highest combat rating hero suffers fatal damage, which will be the hero that we built the tree for, the damage is nullified, so he will not actually die. Looking here at a couple of our factions, solid carry heroes include Kren, we have Damon Oden, Ainz, Lucretia, and Raku, and the tanks that accompany them. Big thing with having the Barricade on there is when you're running it on Scrag or running it on Brutus, in the first scenario, Brutus has an immunity. Brutus is very difficult to kill because of that immunity, but in turn, if Kren takes fatal damage, he is still going to be alive because of the tank that is supporting him, whether it's Scrag, whether it's Brutus, it will keep him alive. And so on and so forth, all the way down the road. Grez, very strong with the Barricade artifact, especially to keep Damon or Oden alive. We see Arthur with the Barricade a lot. With his 3 of 9, he kind of gets the Barricade effect, but to keep Ainz alive in that combination. Brutus, Lucretia, same exact thing with Brutus. He does have the immunity once he takes fatal damage. So if Lucretia or Raku in the next 2 scenarios do take fatal damage, Brutus is going to keep them alive with the artifact, which is really the utilization of this artifact, guys, especially when it starts coming to level deficiencies, is very, very high to keep your main carries alive. Or even early game, as you're going through, your main carries are going to be the strongest heroes just based on the specs that you put into the Elder Tree itself, which is what makes this guide absolutely amazing. So he does break it down into every single class. So here's the Sustenance class. We're just going to look at it just a little bit. So you see 9 is where we initially build it, and then it goes to 42, 62, 72, and 77. Those are the breakpoints. So this is generally a point that players should stop until they have 2 or 3 other branches maxed out as far as they'll go. This level provides haste. That is really the big thing here, is within the tree there are the subsets, just like we talked about at the beginning, to add haste. These are the points where they're adding a lot of haste for these heroes. So again, looking through this guide and really going through here and breaking it down will help you a ton. It has helped me a ton. Every time I see guides like this, it is very, very cool to see. Then, of course, it breaks it down exactly what the skills and abilities do, also the strength of it with the heroes themselves, which again, we'll look at in just a little bit. So the link to the guide is down below. Every single class has their own page and exactly where they're rated based on their rating. Also does a lot of the statistical analysis, as you can see here, with the abilities that come from the artifacts or from the levels themselves. So this is the summary. This is the snapshot for people who just really skipped ahead. So looking here, I love, again, the overall focus section, which is going to allow you to build these in such a specific order that you're going to maximize the priorities that you want and the heroes that you're building. If you're running a team with Ainz and Leica, definitely going with that celerity spec or going with the Ranger tree, very strong. If you're a team that runs with Ainz or Oden, very, very strong to run with that mage, the mage tree as well, being fully built. It also does show, based on the stats that they add, which classes get more, where the warrior might get, or the tank might get more than the warrior. When it comes to health, that gets more than the sustenance, then the mage, so on and so forth. So definitely a breakdown of how it came out there. We talked a little bit about the barricade manipulation, a very cool stat indeed. Looking at the party combinations of the heroes that can barricade the main carries up here. But the part that I want to focus on right now is the key heroes. So looking down the list for every single, I guess, class, kind of breaking the classes down into the heroes that are utilized within that class. So kind of the key heroes. I love how this was completely broken down, how we have the breakpoints. Again, this is a good summary of the amazing information that we have here. So if you're looking through here, is seeing exactly what heroes you have and what heroes to utilize that are very effective. Even in the Sustenance branch, we have Merlin, we have Rowan, we have Silas, all amazing heroes. We have Desira, we have Aziz, we have Namora, we have Nemitsu. Amazing, amazing support heroes with all of those classes, which are the key heroes that make up formations. In the mage class, we do have Mahira, Oden, we have Ainz, a lot of the mage class that is very, very strong. Same with the warrior and the tanking, as well as the ranger class or the celerity class in the very bottom. So guys, an absolute amazing guide. Again, take some time to go through this guide, really making sure that you're building out your trees specifically to the specifications that we have here. You know, this takes, again, a lot of time and effort into getting all of these right, doing all of the visuals. I personally cannot do this. And I did notice it looks like the warrior tree here is at 8, but I think that just might be a little bit of a typo because looking over here, I believe it is at 5. I think the might tree is significantly lower than what we have here, just because the might tree has life leech. We've talked about life leech before, guys. If the enemy is shielded, if they're immune, anything of that nature, the life leech ability is 100% nullified, which is very unfortunate. But we use a lot of the heroes within the warrior tree, including Alna, including Antandra, including, Saurus. A lot of heroes are utilized within that warrior tree, which is a good reason to build it. So guys, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of the guide. Again, I will leave the link to the description right in the bottom so you can check it out yourself. Absolutely love the visual guide to be able to see this. So Grub's trusty tree teardown. Again, big shout out to Grub over on Reddit. And it looks like it's designed by Aileron. So big shout out to them as well. So again, let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.